Guest number 2 tonight is Coach Cody Markle from Alton High School football. And tonight's second segment will be KP's Football Corner, the first one of the year. Welcome to the show, Coach Kevin Paolo. Good to see you.
Thanks, Coach.
Every week in this slot, we're going to talk about football. We're going to review last week's big games. Well, we haven't had games yet, so there's nothing to review. We're going to preview next week's big games, and we're going to talk all things football, the stories, the coaches, the players that we need to keep an eye on this year. Sound good?
Perfect. Sounds great.
Thanks for joining us this year, Kevin Paolo. All right, before we get to the football corner, football focus, I want to talk about golf. Located northeast of Edwardsville, Oakbrook Golf Club is a family-owned 27-hole public golf facility, and their goal is to offer the highest quality golf experience for a reasonable fee. Oakbrook is consistently recognized for awards such as Friendliest Staff, Best Course to Host a Fundraiser, and Best Senior Scramble in the bi-state area. From fundraisers to leagues to instruction to an afternoon out on the links by yourself or with your friends, the Brook wants to win your business. I've personally played and hosted multiple golf scrambles there, lost hundreds of balls there, and I promise you, Mike Surrey and his staff are the best. To book your next tee time or to start organizing your next fundraising scramble, give them a call, please, at 656-5600 or check them out online at oakbrookgc.com. And you and your kids may never outgrow your favorite sports, but you may outgrow your equipment. Your locally owned Play It Again Sports provides an easy way to sell your quality used sports and fitness gear and get paid on the spot or trade up for what you need right now. Not only will you save with affordable used gear, but they also supply the latest new equipment and accessories from the most popular brands. I talked to Edwardsville store owner Dan Brynjolfsson recently, and he said the golf equipment is still going in and out of the door super fast, and they've got football cleats, soccer cleats, and even basketball gear for those of you gearing up for the winter season. So go see Dan and tell him I sent you. Okay, Coach Markle, welcome to the show. Welcome back to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Year number 3 on tap.
Yes, sir. We're excited.
How's the team looking so far?
We're looking really good, putting the last pieces of the puzzle together before the season starts on Friday and, just doing the last-minute things that you need to do to prepare for a Week 1 opponent. So,
you had a scrimmage last week against Granite City.
Yes, sir.
And how do the rules of the scrimmage work? Does everybody have the same rules for that Week 0 scrimmage?
Yes, sir. So the IHSA ends up setting out a template of exactly what they want that scrimmage to look like. So they usually kind of do a coin toss with the IHSA officials, and whoever wins the toss, they can decide offense or defense. The offense is out there for 12 plays, and then they flip-flop. The other team's offense is on there for 12, and you do that for 2 drives, and that's pretty much the end of it.
Where does the ball start?
Usually we do it from the opposite 40. Most teams, I know they don't necessarily talk about where you need to start or where you want to start the drive at. The past 2 that I've been a part of with Granite City, we've always started at the opposite 40.
How has this Week 0 scrimmage changed preseason football?
I think it have changed it for the better, because when you think about it, a lot of guys, spend those first 2 to 3 weeks of training camp just preparing for Week 1 without having anything really to set in stone of going, hey, we're going to treat this exactly how we're going to build into Week 1. So guys go into facing each other for, 14 to 21 days of preparing for, your Week 1 opponent. And, you don't have anything to really show these guys what a true Week 1 preparation looks like. So going into that, we did the same thing, exactly how we wanted to prepare this week. We did it last week. We game planned for it, what they did last year, scouted out, obviously what we could, from what we had, and we just kind of set it up exactly how we wanted it to. We have theme days every day of the week, and we did it the same way we're going to do this week, and the boys really bought into it, and I thought we had a really good scrimmage, and that pays to the preparation. So
give me some ideas of what these themes are.
So usually we go into Monday as a fundamental Monday. So I try to be clever with the words, make it kind of interesting to pop out to the boys. So we call it Fun Day, Fundamental Monday. Tuesday is a Teach Tuesday. So everything we do, we're teaching the installs, it's a fast-paced practice, but we're still teaching everything, kind of breaking everything down for the boys, why we run it, why is it, getting called in certain situations. And Wednesday, we go into work Wednesday. There's no coaching up. We do it all we film everything, and we really let the boys get after it and play the certain scenarios, whether it's a first down, scenario, third down, different things like that, trying to convert. We set it all up week by week, depending on what we know that we need to bank on throughout the season, and when it comes to week and week for our opponents. So, and then obviously Thursday is perfect Thursday. Everything we do is perfect. Your assignments, the alignments. Guys are going up and high pointing the ball, but both sides aren't trying to kill each other out there. We're just trying to go make a play on the ball, and everything's perfect. There's nothing on the ground. Everybody stays up, stays healthy, obviously before a game, and then Friday, what we call is eat. That is our motto this year. So we talk about that as like dinner time. Effort, attitude, and toughness. That's what we live by in the Alton program. So that's what we like to call on Fridays. So
I'm going to call a new theme for tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be Tennis Tuesday, because tomorrow's the day, the biannual day that I get to watch the Redbirds practice football, because we're going to be at Alton playing tennis, and the court's right next to the football field. And so I always take a peek over to see what's going on over there. I'm not scouting or anything like that, but just seeing the vibe and just seeing what y'all are doing. I'm wrapped up in my own thing over there, but I always look forward to watching the football team get a little practice in on Tuesday. So, okay. So one of the things, well, let's stay with your team here for a second.
All right.
What do you like about your team so far?
I'll tell you what, like you said, being in year 3 for me, it's finally seeing the culture, the discipline, the structure that we set when I first took over the program. I'm finally seeing, and I talk to these boys all the time, that the great teams are player-led. And I have an amazing senior class this year of 14 to 15 guys. They work hard every day. They show up. They put in the work. They keep everybody accountable. So, what I've seen in year 3 is I've seen not only myself and my coaching staff hold everyone accountable to what we set as the standard, but the boys are doing that. Our captains have done that. They're not allowing guys to skip out on practice and go to, miss a workout or take a rep off. Everything we do is at 100%. And that's what's going to take us and is taking us to that next level that we want to reach.
And you feel better?
Oh, most definitely. These boys really have showed up, and we talked about a practice schedule back in the spring, and I said, look, we're taking the next step. This is how it's going to look. This is what we need to do. And all of them just bought into it. Everybody worked their tail off. A lot of hot days this summer. We had to move practice times around, and, every single one of them were there. They came in, great attitude. They enjoyed being there. And, as a coach, you love to see that. When your players enjoyed what you're doing and who they're around, that's when it, as a coach, becomes fun. It becomes enjoyable to see your boys not only buying into the program, but becoming a brotherhood and a family.
How do you feel different at this point, though? Do you feel more confident? Do you feel more calm now in year number 3? Do you feel you were in such a tough spot year number 1 because you took the job, I want to say, days before the first game?
Yeah, I took the job my first year. I took the job Monday of week 1. We ended up playing Saturday. I kind of got an extra day of preparation due to the heat. So, I guess that's always a positive. But, yeah, I took the job Monday of my first year. And, ever since then, I never looked back. I was an Alton guy through and through. I love what I do. I love being a Redbird and bleeding that Redbird red. So, no, for year 3 for me, I'm going into it more confident. Obviously, I have a couple years underneath my belt. I've added more guys to the staff. More guys are seeing the vision that I've set in. So, and everybody's bought in. So, for me, I feel more confident and more relaxed of it. Obviously, as a coach, if, you get too comfortable and something's wrong. But, for me, I go into it having more confidence of, hey, look, this is exactly what we're doing. We're doing the right things, not feeling like my mind's all over the place. So, I'm excited. I'm ready to go. Obviously, nerves get started in week 1 and, you're ready for the kickoff, but we're ready, we're confident, and we're ready to be playing some ball.
How are your numbers this year?
We got about 75 to 80 cats out. So, what we're really seeing and what we're really excited for is we are finally getting 3 levels of football back in the Alton football program. In the past, I would say probably about 4 years. I've been with the program for 5 in total, and past 4 years we've had just a varsity, and then we've had a fresh sophomore JV level. And for the first time in 5 years, we are having 3 programs: a freshman, a JV, and a varsity program. So it's something we're really excited about.
And that speaks to your rapport with the boys. You're getting along with the guys. They're feeling good about the program, and they're wanting to come out and take part in it.
Oh, most definitely. I mean, I moved up to teaching at the high school. I've got 3 or 4 guys that are in the building constantly talking to kids, going, "Hey man, you should be playing football."
You're a big kid.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, and we got talent all over that school, and and our guys, we really strive on in the district, to be exact, of that sense of belonging. And all of our kids, whether you're a math teacher like me, or we got guys that are security officers, or they're working in the English department or art or something like that. I mean, they're really talking to these kids and telling them like, "Hey man, come be involved, come be a part of what something special is about to be." So I mean, we really got guys and the coaches that are the right guys being in the building, talking to these guys, talking up our program, and actually buying into these kids and investing in these kids to not only be successful in the classroom, but on the field as well to better themselves. So,
who are some of the kids that are taking leadership roles for the Redbirds this year?
Most definitely. I mean, a guy that jumps off the page, and, you'll hear a lot about him, Jamari Rounds. He is a running back, and this kid is electric.
Rounds?
Yeah, Rounds. He is, I mean, everything you would want out of a back. He is the, first and second down back, third down back. He can receive it, and Lord help you if he gets into space. I mean, he's quick. He's got hands. I mean, this kid is truly a playmaker, but he leads by example. He gets guys in the right spot. I mean, we always talk to our boys of, hey, the quarterback should know everything about, what everybody's doing, what the defense is doing. This is the first time I've seen a running back step onto the field, know exactly what everybody's doing, both offensively and defensively.
What year is he?
He's a senior, and this is something that he's got some, looks and things like that. Unfortunately, he's battled injuries, but, I mean, this kid just keeps bouncing back. He works his tail off day in and day out. He wants to do his best in every day, and he wants to strive to be the best. So, I mean, he's got a great head on his shoulders. He's a 3.5 GPA kid. So, I mean, he busts his tail in and out of the classroom, on and off the football field. He's honestly one of a coach's dreams. So, can't ask for much better than that. He's our team captain this year. It was unanimously voted by coaches and players included. So, to have a honor like that, I mean, it definitely speaks volumes of who he is to us as coaches and who he is in that locker room as well. And another guy, I mean, I kind of flipping sides of the ball over there, Braden Drew. He's a guy who starting linebacker for us. He's going to play Mike, and then he's also our starting kicker. And this kid, I mean, he's a wrestler. He's an all-state wrestler. This kid gets after it every day. He's a guy that hoops and hollers, but he's going to work harder than anybody else. And him and Jamar compete day in and day out. They're not going to let the other side of the ball win. So, I mean, they rally their troops on that side of the ball, and they're going to get after it. So, I mean, I can't speak highly enough of those guys, and they're definitely taking the reins of this program and running with it in the right direction.
Are you playing the same style that you've played the previous 2 years, or are you changing the style? You don't have to give away too much of what you're going to present offensively and defensively, but are you able to do different things now in year number 3 than you were able to do in year number 1?
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, we're kind of keeping the same style of what we like to do with the playmakers we have, but with guys leaving or graduating, moving, things like that, the guys that we have, we've kind of altered our offense and our defense to fit those guys. And I mean, honestly, I've seen us make a lot of plays with having, altered our offense. I mean, we're, getting the ball out quick. We're doing the right things, reading the right keys. We got guys that are watching film constantly to understand what the other team's doing, just to understand it as a football, mind as in general, because that was something that we really was a goal of ours this offseason. These guys, we wanted to make sure they knew and understood the game, not just to go out there and, play and do your best and whatever else. We really wanted these guys to understand and have a football mind, and to be able to be in year 3 for me with having the same coordinators. We just kind of sat down as a staff and we talked about it and said, hey, we like what we're doing. those last 2 games of the season last year were really effective. The boys completely took over and did everything that we wanted them to. And with just the playmakers that we had stepping into roles, I mean, we kind of altered it a little bit and allowed them to get the ball in the hands of our playmakers and make some plays. So we're excited.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm excited to watch you this year. I'm excited to see the Redbirds, to see what this team will look like in year number 3, because I think this is going to be a big year for you guys. I think it'll be a very telling year. You've got the numbers that you've wanted. You've been able to put your mark on this program. Year number 1 was just kind of a wash, man. When you took that over, that's a tough situation. Year number 2 for you, you got to put your print on it more succinctly, and now in year number 3, the program is yours, and I think it's going to reflect that. Okay. It is late summer, early fall in the Metro East, which means one day it's hot, the next day it's cold. But no matter what the temperature, Viviano Heating and Air Conditioning has your emergency calls and maintenance services covered. Viviano is a family-owned and operated company proudly serving the Metro East for over 30 years. Viviano provides quality heating and cooling services, including repairs, installation, and maintenance. Looking for a new furnace or AC unit? Need emergency service or maintenance? What are you waiting for? Call to schedule a service appointment with Viviano today at 618-345-7498 or visit them online at vivianoair.com. And since 2014, Snap Mobile has supported athletic and activity programs nationwide with reliable fundraising and administrative solutions. Snap Mobile has helped schools and coaches raise nearly $1 billion for their teams. Former Belleville East coach and athletic director Jim Loyette is your local Snap Mobile rep. So if you're a coach, an AD, or a parent looking for a 100% hassle-free way to raise funds for a team, group, or organization, give Jim a call at 618-910-1781. I've personally worked with Snap Mobile, and I'm sold on the process, the professionalism, but most of all, the results. Okay. A big part of KP's Football Corner is previewing upcoming game. You've got a big one this Friday night with defending state champion Althoff at Althoff. What can we expect?
Honestly, I mean, when you see a program and you got them on the schedule like Althoff, and Coach Frazier has done an amazing job, with the program. I mean, obviously, winning the state title, you see his guys constantly working, so – and they don't take days off. Those guys are always busting their tails. So we know that we have a challenge ahead of us. And it doesn't matter who they've lost or whatever else will graduate. And I mean, they had a ton of great athletes that, were able to go on and play at the next level. And hats off to those guys, the way they coach them up and they work hard. And so, I mean, we know that we have a tough task, and, they have a lot of great athletes and a good, veteran quarterback that's coming back. So we know we have our hands full. We're just trying to scheme for we know what they have, and at least, on paper what we think they have, and, try to scheme up for it. So we know that, they like to get after and make plays, and that's obviously what we're trying to do, slow them down, keep the ball out of their hands, and, obviously make it a competitive game and match up with them, as best we can. So,
well, I heard that Jason Dow and Dier Hill are going to come back and play just this one more game for you. Are you happy about that? You're like, oh, man.
Not after when I blink and the kid's gone 30 yards. No, thanks.
Dier Hill was
phenomenal.
Player of the year in the state of Illinois, so that tells you how good he was. And Jason Dow was probably the most highly recruited athlete in the St. Louis metropolitan area, or at least in the Metro East last year. One of the most highly recruited guys, and he's obviously playing football and wrestling at Mizzou this year. So those two guys alone
are just game wreckers.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So who are the guys? I mean, obviously you got a game plan for Althoff. They're going to play. They're still athletic. They're still going to get after you.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, they got guys, and like I said, guys graduating, and you never know, because I mean, they had such a stacked roster last year, and the crazy part about it is they still had the depth and things like that. So I mean, there was guys that I seen put on film that could could have went almost anywhere in the Metro East area and been starters.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean? And, and it's hard to obviously, you want to see guys like De'Aaron Hill last year and Jason Dow. I mean, those guys, like I said, game wreckers, and you really would have to plan for those guys. But
and they had another kid too that's in Boston right now playing Division I. Yeah, playing Division I football. So that's a heck of a team. So we're looking forward to that game. 1A defending state champions. That's your first opponent.
Yes, sir.
And then who are some of the other teams that we're going to keep an eye on this year that you think we should keep an eye on in KP's Football Corner?
I mean, I'm going to be 100% honest, and I may be biased, but I mean, that Southwestern Conference, man, any team, any given Friday, those guys go out and compete. I have the utmost respect for every coach and every program in our conference, and we're going to be adding more next year. So, I mean, that's going to be, a real fun competition. I mean, we're glad to have the new teams come in, but, they're not strangers to us. So, but, teams like Edwardsville with Coach Pickering leading the way. I mean, he does a tremendous job. Me and him talk all the time, and he's just doing great things with those boys. I see it all the time. And Coach Sunkett over in East St. Louis, once again, I mean, these guys in the Southwestern Conference do an amazing job of getting their programs ready week in and week out. It don't matter who you're playing. You could be playing a stacked roster of all the defending state titles. These guys are going to go out and compete day in and day out and show everybody why the Southwestern Conference is the best in the state.
I mean, it's a tough chore
almost
for the Redbirds to play a non-conference competition in Altoff, and then within your conference, you got to play East Side, Edwardsville, East, West, O'Fallon. I mean, it's a tough road for the Redbirds.
Oh, most definitely. And I mean, we start off the season, like you said, with the defending, 1A state champions, and and then we played teams like Quincy, who went to the semifinals last year, with a great team. And, those guys, they were firing the ball out there. I mean, they had the all-time leading passer in the state of Illinois. I want to say his name was Braden, and I'm sorry if I got that wrong, but I knew his last name was Little. But, he was the leading passer and holds that record now. And then you go to Triad, they just continue to, grow and get better. And, not that they weren't before, but, those guys just continue to show you why they improve year in and year out, and they keep buying in. And, then we get into the conference schedule, and, like I said, there's not one team in this conference that week to week, everybody's going out and battling like it's a playoff game. It's, state championship. These guys come out and compete. It don't matter who you're playing. Like I said, I have the utmost respect for everybody in this conference, and to me, like I said, I'm biased, but I feel like that's why we go out and show that it's the best conference. These guys will really put it on display every Friday night and show why, the recognition of these athletes. Because it all comes down to the boys. These guys show up week in and week out, and like I said, it doesn't matter who's on the schedule. They want to do everything they can to bust their tail and compete and go win ball games. So, I love exactly what we're all doing in the Southwestern Conference, and we go and schedule teams to compete in the non-conference, and these guys, we have a great schedule for competition, and week in and week out, we got a tough task ahead of us, but we're up for the challenge.
Love it. KP, who are some of the other games and teams and players that we're looking at in week one?
Well, I did a kind of a deep dive looking at some different forums on the Metro East football teams and so forth, but I'll just go through my list here. In 8A, Edwardsville, as we spoke about, Belleville East, they're ranked pretty high. 7A, Collinsville's 21st on the rankings. East St. Louis, 6A, are number one, which we talked about.
No surprise.
Right. And then 5A, as Coach mentioned, Triad and Highland. Highland's 13, Triad's 15. And then you get to 4A, you've got Bree Central, Cahokia, Waterloo, and Columbia.
All in the top 10?
Yep.
Wow.
Top 25.
Top 25.
Top 25.
Who was the highest ranked team out of those?
Bree Central.
Okay.
They were 7.
Okay.
And then we get to 3A, Roxana was 10.
Roxana qualified for state last couple of years. 2 years ago, they got to the semifinals, which was a huge deal. That place was packed. Charlie Rach Field went nuts for the Shells a couple of years ago. 2A?
Roxana is 3A.
I know, but who's in 2A that you're looking at?
2A, we had 3A
3A is going to be Altoff this year, too.
Yeah, Altoff's in 3A. But a couple of sites I looked at, they had them still at 1A.
Really?
Yep. But max prep. But as I got to the other ones, they moved them up.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
All right. And Mater Day, what are they?
Mater Day was 10th in the 4A.
Okay.
So
Okay. Any other 1A teams we got to look out for in the Metro East?
I didn't see many. No.
Okay.
Nope. Altoff was, if they stay 1A, Altoff's the one.
Okay. And the only 8-man football team in the Metro East that I can think of is Metro East Lutheran.
Yeah.
Yep.
So they're not that, and what they play is not IHSA.
No.
Okay. Any other comments, Cody, on any of the other teams that you think may sneak up on some people? I know that obviously you're focused on the Redbirds, but I'm wondering if there's any other teams that you think, they weren't mentioned by Coach Paulo just then, but, this is a team you got to look out for.
Honestly, all the teams that you'd mentioned, I mean, we played in the past couple of years, or we play this season. I mean, we're excited for the Highland matchup this year. I mean, they're always a really great program. We played them in a 7-on-7 tournament this year, and I mean, boy, they love football and they love getting after. I mean, it was a great competition. I mean, it was fun. Both sides got into it. I mean, I kind of go back to, I always believe that Quincy is always a team that, I mean, I know they're not in the area, but they're definitely a team to watch out for this year. And I really do believe Belleville West with Coach Turner, he's done a phenomenal job over there. I mean, we've really loved that game over there, playing it's a competition every year, and we go out and compete, and boy, it's a fun shake up at the 50 at the end of it. I mean, because we just love that game. Both sides get into it, and it's fun. So
somehow there's not a time listed for Bergen Catholic and East St. Louis on this Thursday. They're playing a Thursday night game.
Oh, okay.
Somehow. So I'm looking. I can't wait to see that one. Go ahead,
Coach. I'd like to send a shout out to Coach Turner from Belleville West. I think they're going to be a sleeping dog.
There you go.
Most
Yep.
definitely.
That's your sleeper.
That's my sleeper.
Your sleeper is the Maroons at Belleville West. All right. I'll be. I can't wait to see it. I think Madison is going to be a team to keep an eye on. Cahokia, keep an eye on those two teams, and the Redbirds. I can't wait to see the progress from your squad out there on the gridiron this year, Coach.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay, well, thanks a lot for coming in, Coach Markle. Thanks so much for coming in. This was your first KP's Football Corner. Check out our football rankings, small, medium, and large schools, posted this Friday morning. And keep tuning in for comprehensive high school football coverage. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks. Go Birds.